Hi, welcome. Sometimes we can all feel a little bit lonely, and maybe you can feel that too sometimes. You can have lots of friends, have lots of things going on in your life, and then sometimes that loneliness creeps inside your heart and it just feels horrible. My name is Ria, and I made this video to help you whenever you feel lonely. CrossYoga is built on the Christian faith, and you can join this video even though you might not be completely sure about what you believe in. So join me on the mat if you have one. You can use a carpet floor, you can use a blanket, something to do your CrossYoga on. So join me for a short session. We'll begin standing on the floor, hip width apart with our feet. That's 2 fist distance if you put your fist in between your feet. And then take your shoulders and roll them around and put them behind you, standing tall. Nothing to be ashamed about. And maybe you close your eyes. And you can feel how the inhale, maybe you can feel it in your nose, maybe you can feel it in your chest or your belly. Inhale, everything expands, and exhale, everything kind of settles back. Take a few really deep breaths. And try not to focus on how you feel with your emotions, but focus on what your body feels. How it feels to inhale and exhale. And also how it feels to bend forward. So bend your knees and fold forward very slowly. Make sure your neck is relaxed, like your head is just hanging down. And then you can sway very gently from side to side. Try not to be in a hurry. Bend even further down in your knees and let your hands reach the floor. Step your feet back into a plank pose, really feeling those abs. And then come down on your knees and get into a cow pose. So lift up your buttocks, lift up your gaze towards the sky. Then take your navel in towards your spine and work your spine the opposite direction. So look into your navel, make your spine long, and release. Put your toes down back on your mat or wherever you're standing and find downward facing dog. It's a kind of a triangle pose. Maybe you bent your knees a lot more, and maybe you just walk your dog like I do here, 1 foot at the time, getting into our hips and our legs. And please be aware that as we do these poses today, it's not about doing perfect poses, okay? In school, there might be perfect ways to answer or to be, but here in the yoga mat, it's not about perfect poses or being perfect in your balance and everything. It's about enjoying movement, breath, and just being with God, I believe, on the mat. So step your feet to the front end of your mat again. Maybe you take your wrist for a little bit of a twist around, and then vertebrae by vertebrae coming into your standing pose. Take your hands up towards the sky, palms meet, elbows a little bit out to the side, and let go of any tension you might have in your shoulders. And lean back. Beautiful. Straight spine, forward fold. We do these poses again. Now we know them. Bend your knees, hands down on your mat, step your feet back, plank, at least for a moment. Knees down and sway, hips up, look up, nose towards the sky. And spine the other direction. Look to your navel. Really get into your abs. And downward facing dog. Toes underneath there, and lift your hips up and back away from your hands. Fingers spread out. Elbows a little bit bended. Awesome. Look to the front end of your mat. Once again, step to the front. And forward fold. Mountain pose it's called. Rising up, standing slowly. Let your hands grow towards the sky. Palms meet. And once again, go for your back bend. Look up. Opening your heart. This is called a heart opening pose. If there's something up there that can help me not feel lonely, I believe yes. Straight spine, and then you move again into your forward fold. Remember, it's easier to bend your knees. Bending even further in your knees, stepping your feet back, repeating the last time our little sequence here, plank. And then knees down and swaying. Cow pose, it's called. Cat pose, back up towards the sky. And then get a little bit of rest in child's pose. Get some distance in between your knees and let your glutes there, or hips, move back towards your heels, forehead on the mat or the floor, or on your hands if that's better. Let every bone and muscles in your body relax right now. I believe there is a God who says, I will never leave you. I will never abandon you. There is a God who loves you, promises you that God will never leave you or never abandon you. You might feel lost, feel like you've gone somewhere where you don't know how to get back, but God knows where you are and He will guide you back. You are not alone. There is a God who understands your thoughts and your feelings. He created you to relationship. Like a glove on one hand is almost without purpose if you don't have the other glove. So take a deep inhale. And even though it might feel silly, exhale. Let that loneliness go. Take your hands to the front end of your mat. Again, finding downward facing dog. Taking your time. No rush. Look towards your hand and then walk again. The top of your mat or wherever you're standing. Forward folds. And then standing pose again. Getting into a little bit of a balance pose now. So take your weight on your right foot. Lift up your left foot. This is tree pose. So you can take your toes here, especially if your balance is a bit off. And don't worry if it is. It's not about being perfect. Or you can take a foot even further up. Heel, pushing into your inner thigh. And if your foot kind of falls down like mine does there, just hold
have a focus somewhere on the floor maybe. And if you feel like you can maybe lift your hands up. And release. That left foot, as you take it down, you move it to the back end of your mat. Turn your foot around. So your feet, one goes to the front, one out to the side. Warrior 2, it's called. Arms out. And sink down as you bend your front knee. Peaceful warrior is the next one. So take your palms, let it face up, and then lean back without stretching the front leg. Let your back hand walk down your back leg and feel something in your ribs, in your side. And then again, move to the front end of your mat, taking your time, lifting back heels, stepping it to the front. And fold forward. Maybe you sat it out here if this felt a little bit tough. And again, standing pose. Tree pose on the other side. So balance on your left. Take your right foot up. Again, different places. Find your version of this. Knees out to the side. Take your time. Remember to breathe. Sometimes it's really hard not to breathe, or if you're really concentrating, you stop breathing. So breathe. Awesome. And take your hands down. Release your right foot and step it back. Turn your foot around again, bending front knee and looking towards the front hand. Palms up, and then lift your palm towards the sky. Maybe this time looking at your hand. So maybe you have that feeling that God is up there, out there, somewhere far away from you. But you know what the Bible says? It says God is not far out there. He is right here. So maybe you touch your chest or where your heart is. That helps with the loneliness, knowing that God is here and not far away. Taking your hands down, downward facing dog the last time. Awesome. Bend your knees and come down on your buttocks and take your feet to the front end of your mat, toes up. Maybe you bend your knees a little bit and then lean forward, taking a hold of whatever you can reach. Maybe it's your legs. If you can reach your feet, just go for that. And lean forward, feeling a stretch in your lower back and maybe on the back of your legs. Relax your muscles, especially on your legs, quads. And coming back, seated pose. So find a position here that feels somewhat comfortable as you sit down. You can sit on a pillow or something if that's better for you. Take your right hand in the front of you. Try to make like a little ball. And feel like this hand, or try to imagine this hand being God's hand. And the other hand is your emotions and what you feel like right now. And maybe it's like all squeezed together, broken, tired. But then try to put that hand in God's hand. So try to do that. Even closing your eyes and feel how your right hand can carry your left, can carry your emotions, everything you are. You are carried. You are not alone. And this thing with your hands, you might do that sometimes as you feel that sensation of loneliness. Maybe you take your hands out and just remember what I said, that you're not alone. Small spinal twist before we get down on our back. Take your right hand and leave it here on your knee, and then move your shoulders around. Avoid leaning back. And a straight spine, moving to the other direction. Beautiful. Now it's time to lay down, and I'll guide you through a short meditation with affirmative words. So come down on your spine, or your back, it's called. Stretch out your legs and try to let your feet fall a little bit out to the side. And then let your hand reach the floor and palms facing up, so your pinky finger are towards your thighs. Yeah. Close your eyes and try to let go of any muscle tension you have in your body, especially your face and your shoulders. And I will say some sentences that I will hope that you want to repeat inside yourself or speak out loud. Make them a prayer, a wish, but try really to get them inside so it becomes words that you believe in. The first sentence is, I am not alone. I am not alone. God knows me completely and loves me. God knows me completely and loves me. I am supposed to be myself and not a copy of anyone else. I'm gonna be me and not a copy of anyone else. God will carry me. God will carry me. If any of these sentences hit home with you somehow, that really touched you, welcome to repeat them a few more times. Maybe write them on a piece of paper and put on the mirror so you never forget. you're welcome to stay down on your mat much longer. Also when the video here is wrapped up, but I will wish you all God's peace to your body, soul, and mind. I hope to see you again on future CrossYoga teen videos. Thank you for joining.